Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Coffee and Current Events, and today I have another update for you. This one is going to be really interesting. I'm going to go through like a brief summary of what's been going on in Bakhmut lately, then I'm going to jump into something that could absolutely determine not only the Battle of Bakhmut, but the cities of Chasiv Yar and Avdiivka. So buckle up, we got some crazy things that could happen. So previously, Russian forces had cut off the Khromove road. This was horrible news for the Ukrainians because the Khromove road was really the only good road the Ukrainians had that went into Bakhmut for supplies. I mean, they could try to use Avdiivka, but since they were less than 100 meters from Russian artillery in some cases, they would be shelled until oblivion. So Avdiivka probably wasn't the best option. So the option was Khromove, and Khromove went straight from Chasiv Yar. And this one road supplied, according to some reports, 60% of all the supplies going to Ukrainian forces in Bakhmut. So the road was important. It was the proverbial lifeline of the Ukrainian forces there. Well, what happens if someone tries to strangle you? You're probably going to punch back. That's exactly what the Ukrainians did. This road had been cut, and if it remained in Russian hands, Bakhmut was doomed. And so were thousands of Ukrainian soldiers still in and around Bakhmut. Now, according to reports, it seems the Ukrainian forces launched some kind of counteroffensive. Not the big counteroffensive everyone's been talking about in the spring, but more of a limited one. But it did work. Their counteroffensive was effective to a large degree because the road went from being securely cut off by the Russians, I mean as securely as it can be in a battle, to being contested. The Ukrainians need to fight for that and retake it and then establish defensive positions in front of the road and behind the road. If they can keep Khromove open, they can theoretically carry on the Battle of Bakhmut. If it closes, they're doomed. Now let me explain why this road is so important because it doesn't only affect Bakhmut. If the Russians capture Khromove, not only will thousands of Ukrainian soldiers in Bakhmut be practically doomed, the Russians will have cut the main road connecting to Chasiv Yar. As you can see, Chasiv Yar is like a Ukrainian fortress town. It's literally like a second Bakhmut. Chasiv Yar supplied Ukrainian forces both through the Khromove road and the Avdiivka road. So if the Russians are able to cut Khromove, not only will Ukrainian forces be trapped in Bakhmut, but they will also have cut one of the major roads going to Chasiv Yar. If this were to happen, it would only be a matter of time before Bakhmut fell. Once the Russians capture Bakhmut, Chasiv Yar will be in severely grave danger. This proverbial fortress of Ukraine will quickly find itself in the same situation that Bakhmut's been in for months. Because once the Russian forces secure Khromove and secure Avdiivka, they can begin to move forward to Chasiv Yar and start the same process of slow encirclement, but that's not the only bad thing that could happen to Ukrainian forces if the Khromove road was captured. Because if the Khromove road was captured, Bakhmut would inevitably fall to Russia. Russia could then launch attacks on Chasiv Yar. The fall of Bakhmut could permit a large percentage of Russian and Wagner forces to leave Bakhmut and focus their main assault on the other Ukrainian fortress of Avdiivka. Avdiivka has been on the front line since the very beginning of the war. This is a fortress Ukrainian forces have worked to make practically unbreakable. However, if Russia was able to send tens of thousands of troops from Bakhmut to attack Avdiivka, plus the forces already there, it would likely only be a matter of time before Avdiivka faced the same fate as the city of Bakhmut. So in losing that one road, Ukraine could lose Avdiivka, the Ukrainians could also lose Chasiv Yar and Bakhmut, all because of this one road. The Khromove road is seen by many to be the lifeline of Bakhmut, but it also could be the lifeline of Chasiv Yar and possibly even Avdiivka. This is why you can expect such fierce fighting at Khromove road. The Russians know the capture of Khromove will basically spell doom for the Ukrainian forces. They know if they can capture Bakhmut, they can free up their forces to attack other places or launch defensive operations in preparation for the Ukrainian counteroffensive. The Ukrainians know if Khromove falls, they will lose Bakhmut, the city that once kept so many Russian forces tied up, and these tens of thousands of troops will be free to attack other cities. So you can expect extremely fierce battles over this road, extremely bloody battles over this road, and it's probably going to remain contested for some days. Anyway, that's all we have for you today. Be sure to subscribe to Coffee and Current Events, that way you're not missing out on the daily updates we have coming at you about the Ukraine war and the crazy stuff that's going on around the battlefield. God bless you, and I'll catch you in the next video.